Shalom.
Shalom, we all here once again giving all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakodash.
So it's a glorious day. You know what I was meditating on? I was meditating on Jacob's trouble. And it's like this. Heads or tails, death or jail. Heads or tails, death or jail. Because that's really your options when it comes to Jacob's trouble. And being off the grid. You know what I'm saying? But off the grid can mean a lot of things. Like your power can shut off in your crib, and you don't got no water. That's a major key right there. Like, say you living in a situation like that, and it's not even just you. It could be the whole society, where like the whole grid collapses. Everybody's in a blackout. It's like just how it is in that movie, Leave the World Behind. You know what I'm saying? Picture a scenario like that in Jacob's trouble. It's not gonna be looking good, because guess what? That means everybody that's in government facilities, government prisons, the worst of the worst, state prisons, they're gonna be able to escape. They're gonna be let go. You know what I'm saying? Because if there's like a scenario where it's like all hell breaking loose, law enforcement's gonna be concerned about protecting what they have going on. They're gonna at that point they're gonna be like, yo, forget the job.
It's like that in California. At least I know they went back now, like they're arresting people now, but there was a certain point, like especially like last year, a few years ago, people was just committing crime because they knew they could get away with it. They was just getting slaps on the wrist for everything. People just walking in the stores and just steal shit and walk out, but they know they just gonna get slapped on the wrist. They're not gonna do no real time. Right? And shit was so bad, like you'll make a call to the 911 operator and you'll have to leave a message. But how you gonna call the cops and leave a message? Whatever you need them for, it's over with now. And that's what it's gonna be like in the times to come. Even worse than that.
That's what it's gonna be like in Jacob's trouble, really.
That's why you men that's not in, in this faith, you're gonna be out here lost, you're gonna be through. And you women that don't got men, you're just gonna be spoils in that day. You're just gonna be bargaining chips. It's gonna get real out here.
Get the precept, Jacob's trouble.
Start at the 6th verse. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 6. It says, "Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hand on his loins?"
Yeah, because people are gonna be going crazy at that time. Hands on your loin, like you can even attribute that to like people having they stick on their waistline. If you even have that, you carry that around, depending on what state you're in or what you do for a living. You know what I'm saying? Because I know law enforcement, they always gonna have access to their sticks. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, in a state of emergency, they're not even gonna be on the job. They're gonna just go home and try to protect their homestead, protect their family.
Yeah, it's talking figuratively, but also, because when you stick like somebody like hands on their loins, they're like dismayed, like they can't believe what they're going through right now. They just caught off guard. They're in shock.
Or they about to throw up and like,
yeah, I can't believe this right now.
You ever get some bad news and your stomach starts hurting?
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
You start going through the stress, because stress can cause stomach issues.
Start getting the bubble guts. Like when you get nervous or you're in a fucked up situation, you're like, fuck.
Yep. So like I was saying, picture a scenario where either the grid is off or you can't afford to pay your bill because you didn't take the MOTB, and therefore you're on the verge of being homeless and you're about to get evicted and they shut off your water, they shut off your electricity. Or you could actually be out in the wilderness, living out in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I said it's either death or jail or living off the grid. And living off the grid can come in a variety of ways. So get ready, man. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready to get to it. I just want it to all start as soon as possible so we can get it over with as soon as possible.
That's what I'm saying. So get your minds right. That's all you can really do is prepare mentally. And being that we do know prophecy, that puts us ahead of our time. So it wouldn't even be the worst thing to prepare, like, maybe buy like a water filter. You ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Like buying a water filter or something.
Me, like, I be thinking about stuff, doing like that kind of stuff, buying some food, stashing it away.
They call it doomsday prepping.
But at the end of the day, it all comes down to faith. That's what it's all gonna come down to. Not how much you store up.
Plus, you don't know what your destiny's gonna be. So it's like you could try to prepare for all three scenarios all you want, but
Ain't no telling where you're gonna be when shit hits the fan. You might not be able to get to what you need to get to.
exactly. So that's why you're gonna need that protection from the Most High.
Again, this is Jeremiah 30:6.
Hope that you come out on top. Even if your demise means death, then that doesn't mean that that's gonna be it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could die and then come back, because it says that in was it First Thessalonians?
Death isn't the end all be all.
It just means you're asleep, really.
Right.
There's not much difference between death and being asleep.
This is Jeremiah 36 again. It says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." And when your face turns to paleness, you ever heard like somebody who's so scared his face turned white? Because just all the hell that's going to be going on here. There's literally going to be bodies on the street. You're going to be stepping over people, having to walk around people, and nobody coming to bury them. They're just going to be there.
The scriptures say that it's a time that's never been seen before on earth.
Right.
So if you thought you've seen it all, or you heard about it all throughout history, we don't even really know for sure what Jacob's trouble is going to be like. But we
Right.
can imagine the scenarios that are going to be taking place.
They show you with these movies, they paint a picture, they give you an idea, but it's going to be even worse than that. The movies and these shows don't even do it justice. Last verse. Jeremiah 30:8 says, "For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him." Listen.
I get 1 Thessalonians 4:16.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. It says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first."
Yes, so the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. So if that's the case for you, where you got to lose your life for this truth, you got to remain faithful to the end until death, then do so. Because what did we just read? It says the dead and Yahushua are going to rise first. So you're going to live again. You're going to rise. The Lord can do that.
It says, next
But
verse.
somebody that's carnal, they're not going to understand the scripture. Anybody that's carnal, they're not going to have faith in the scriptures, period.
Right.
So that's why they're going to bow down to Esau's system when it's all said and done. And they're going to die here in America or in Jacob's trouble.
First Thessalonians 4:17. It says, "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord."
Yeah, because once you rise from death, then you're going to be able to have access to the chariot. The chariot is going to beam you up. And said the cloud is a metaphor for a UFO, so-called UAP. That's all it is. You're not going to see that terminology in the scriptures when the scriptures was written over 2,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Or even 3,000 years ago, if you want to include the Old Testament. Because even in the Old Testament, the chariots of the Most High mentioned.
And it gives you a clear description of what it's talking about. It can't be anything else. So last verse, it says, 1 Thessalonians 4:18, it says, "Wherefore comfort one another with these words." So yeah, death isn't a permanent thing. Gotta precept. Let's start the 21st verse. This is Mark 5 and 21. Yeah, Mark 5 and 21. It says, "And when Yahushua was passed over again by ship unto the other side, much people gathered unto him, and he was nigh unto the sea. And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet, and besought him greatly, saying, My little daughter lieth at the point of death. I pray thee, come and lay thy hands on her, that she may be healed, and she shall live. And Yahushua went with him, and much people followed him, and thronged him. And a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing bettered, but rather grew worse. When she had heard of Yahushua, came in the press behind, and touched his garment. For she said, If I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague. You see, you tell that to, just somebody that's so carnal, they can't believe that. Like, she had all these ailments, and all she did was touch his garment, and she was healed. That's the power that Yahushua possesses. That's because he's not in the carnal flesh like we are. When we're perfect, we're going to have the same kind of healing powers.
You see, somebody can read this in the Bible, right? And then they'll think that this is made up, it's fiction.
Right.
However, it's ironic how the most realist book is the Bible. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people wouldn't think that because, like I said, they think that the scriptures is a fairy tale book, it's made up, so therefore they don't have faith in what we read. There's also the story with the pool of Bethesda. Imagine being able to get into a pool of water and you're healed from whatever sickness that you have, whatever ailment that you have.
Right.
That's also what we read in the scriptures. So, where do you think Hollywood draws their inspiration from? We always say that. You know what I'm saying? They get their inspirations from the scriptures. Because imagine that. You got powers to the point where you can heal the sick. You can shoot fireballs out of your hands or lasers out of your eye. Or you could be like Samson, be like the Hulk, tear down beams that you tied to. You know what I'm saying? Take a jawline, what was it, an ox or an ass or whatever, and then just start bashing people's skulls. Imagine having that power. We're talking about blunt trauma. How was the bone of whatever animal it was? How was this bone that strong enough to where you just taking down dudes left and right? They coming at you. It might be like 10, 20 niggas, and they can't mess with you. That's spiritual power right there from the Most High, and your weapon's not breaking in the process. It was a bone. That's blunt trauma. We're talking about a bone contact. It's not like you're hitting a soft object. Bone on flesh contact.
That was it on that. I'm not gonna read no more. But basically, it's just the point, like, the men, when Jairus thought his daughter was dead, but Yahushua was like, she's not dead, she's just sleeping. So when he went in the room and put his hands on her and healed her, she rose from the dead, you would say. But again, that's all spiritual.
Yeah, we better pick that up soon.
Pick it up. You got a precept?
Yeah. Wisdom of Solomon 2:1. I don't understand that. Like, why even have a dog if you're gonna be lazy? That's why me personally, I don't believe that people should really have pets like that. You should let animals be in their natural habitat. If you are gonna have a pet, take care of it.
Right.
Don't be lazy and not look after them. Because who wants to live in a community like that with this dog shit? You gotta
Word.
worry about stepping in dog shit. They do that everywhere in the hood.
Yeah, that's foul.
Pissy elevators and dog shit. That's what you gotta dodge.
This is the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious."
Yeah, because as you mentioned before, we come back again in another life. Same spirit, but just a different body. So that YOLO spirit, there's really nothing new. You know what I'm saying? People have always, lived life on their terms and done what they wanted to do. But you got to be careful with doing that.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to answer for that in another life, whether you know it or not. Read it again from the top.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves,
The ungodly.
but not aright. Our
Yeah,
life is
because they don't have the understanding of the scriptures.
says, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in death of a man,
Your life is short.
says, there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave."
Yeah, which is not true. So you gotta be careful what you do in life. That's why you might see somebody, they're all in a messed up state. They might have a sickness from smoking their tobacco or their cigarettes. And that's what they get for thinking that life is really that short. Alright, you think life is really that short? You can just do whatever you want to follow your temple, which is really the Most High's temple. Then alright, I'm gonna give you this plague. Now you're gonna be hooked up to an oxygen tank for however long I decide I want to keep you alive. You know what I'm saying? And you living a miserable life.
Yeah, there was like this clip on YouTube I was watching. It's this dude, his wife was cheating on him. Come to find out, his wife was cheating. The dude she was cheating with, he gave her HIV. That's judgment from the Lord right there. He was cutting out, doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing, and now your ass got the ninja.
So the girl was creeping, and then she gave the thing to her man,
No, the girl was creeping, and she caught HIV from somebody else.
and then she gave it to her man.
He didn't say he had it in the clip. I don't know.
Probably did get it.
Probably did. I mean, yo.
Probably. Yeah,
Probably
it's safe
did.
to say.
It's not like it's impossible that he didn't get it, but he probably did.
See, that's his karma too, because the scriptures say that a wicked man gets a wicked woman. So you're dealing with these chicks, you gotta know how to deal with them. You gotta know who you're dealing with. You'll have a general idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's another video I see, and this is like,
Or you might even want some paperwork. Like, say you just me and the chick, and before you decide you want to hit, you be like, yo, you see your paperwork. I want to keep you safe the same way I would want you to keep me safe. And then if they respect that, which they should, then they'll give you the paperwork. I mean,
right. That's too much like right though. That makes too much sense. This is
That's sad though. How you even gotta worry about that dating.
yeah. This is,
That's the problem with dating. You know what I'm saying? Jump around from man to man. That's not good.
there's another video I seen. This was a while ago though. This dude, his wife was cheating on him with some other dude while she was driving somewhere. She got into a car accident and she was paralyzed from the neck down. She couldn't even move.
That's karma.
But that dude, her husband, still stayed with her, even through all that.
Just something.
Word, I could have been me.
I mean, you can call it karma. You can call it the laws of the universe, or you can call it the law of averages.
That's just justice.
You do dirt, it's gonna come around to you at some point in time, and it could be a small thing that happens to you, or it could be something major, like what you said,
Yeah.
life-changing events.
That was it. It was the Solomon. Or?
Yeah, that's it.
Right. Okay.
Let's see.
I'll read this quick right now. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 17. I'll start at 16. Damn, I gotta start up somewhere. I'll start start at 15. There's Ecclesiasticus 32 and 15. It says, "He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith, but the hypocrite will be offended thereat. They that fear the Lord shall find judgment, and shall kindle justice as light. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will."
Yeah, like we were saying before, well, life is short. We're gonna all die someday anyway. Let's do what I want now in the moment.
They was even doing that back when Yahushua was around, you know. They'll have their sacrifice ready. They know they're about to do some wickedness. They'll just have their sacrifice ready, waiting.
Yep.
Instead of just trying not to do the wickedness, you're just gonna try and justify the wickedness.
Exactly. Like, yo, that brother over there, his wife look good. You got that spirit of adultery on you, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You go get my lamb ready.
You try to get with that chick. She might not even be with it, but the mind is in your mind.
Yeah, it's all in your mind.
It starts in your mind. Even that thought of trying to get with a brother's wife is adultery right there. It already started in your mind.
Right. Just looking at it like that. But that's why men and women aren't supposed to be co-mingling like that anyway. It's all breeding grounds for that.
Right. That's why should men and women be friends? No. No. You want to test that theory? If you're a woman, go ahead and ask your male friend, "Oh, you wanna have sex with me?" What do you think he's gonna say?
Of course.
He'll be like, "Oh yeah." But wait, I thought we was friends.
It's not a real thing. I've never seen it done. If a nigga and a woman, a man and a woman are just friends, they smash at least once or twice. It's not like they've never been with each other before. They just letting bygones be bygones.
And you even gotta be careful with the girls that got D-Lo friends. Not D-Lo, but they might be like flamboyant.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I remember this chick I was talking to. She asked me about that. So, how do you feel about my rainbow friends? Do you have a problem with that? And you know, I just met the chick. So you know what my response was? I was like, I mean, it's not ideal. That's basically what I said. I'm gonna keep it real. It's not ideal, but it's like I'm not gonna stop you from like being friends with people that you already was friends with prior to me meeting you, because people are who they are. And that's what I said.
Right.
See, that's why you gotta know who you're dealing with. Find out who you're dealing with. And then it's up to you whether you can accept them or not. Because every chick you deal with, she has bones in the closet. She has baggage. And it's up to you to decipher and discover what her trauma is. And if you're willing to go the distance with her, you know what I'm saying? It's like that with every chick. Every chick got demons on her. She got a certain mindset, and it might not even coincide with your mindset necessarily.
Yeah,
It's hard to 100% click with something.
Yeah, we don't really have control of what a woman does. Like,
You gotta pick your battles.
you just gotta deal accordingly.
You gotta pick your battles with women. They're like foreign cars. You know what I'm saying? They'll look good, but once it comes time for that maintenance, you gotta deal with being head over the head with a bill. That's crazy. And then, you know, the type of cars is always liable to have leaks, or whatever the case may be once they hit a certain type of mileage. You know, any old car, which that's used, that's sad to say, but that's comparable to women in the dating market. They're like used cars. So exactly. So once you give her, you know she's got some miles on her. So you gotta get under the hood. You gotta check for leaks. You know there's leaks, but you don't want to fix the leak because then it's gonna be too expensive. You know, it's like that.
I don't know how much longer I'm gonna have this motherfucker anyway. I want to do all this maintenance.
Motherfucker got 140,000 miles on it.
2 accidents.
120.
2 accidents reported.
70,000 miles, but it's a bad car. That model's no good. That year is no good. You're gonna run into problems once you hit the 100K. And that's when you gotta know to drop the check. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna read it again. This is Ecclesiasticus 32 and 17. It says, "A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. A man of counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear, even when of himself he hath done without counsel. That's the point. You got a picture?
Yeah. You get Ecclesiasticus 37 and 18.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 37, verse 18. It says, four manner of things appear, good and evil, life and death, but the tongue ruleth over them continually.
Yeah, because the scriptures say how death is in the power of the tongue. So words do hurt. It might not hurt you physically, but it can lead to you being hurt physically.
Yeah, you can really put a verbal lashing on somebody. It says, there is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. There is one that showeth wisdom in words, and is hated, and he shall be destitute of all food.
Yeah, in other words, you'll come across somebody that'll give you good advice, but they don't even be taking their good advice their damn self. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. You gotta watch out for people like that. Because that's a hypocritical way to live. You know what I'm saying?
You know, learning the new information is the easy part. Applying it, that's the hard part.
Because is it really godly? Are you really a godly man if you say you're this, you say you're that, but your actions speak otherwise?
It says, there is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. There is one that showeth wisdom in words, and is hated.
Yeah, because you actually got people that are official. So they are who they say they are. And they move accordingly. But people that are like that, people that are too real, it almost be to your own good, for their own good. You know what I'm saying?
They don't want you around. You a party pooper.
Yeah.
You be keeping it too real. You raining on my parade. You know, when people are doing wickedness, they don't ever want to be called out in their wickedness.
Yeah, you're too good for your own good. So therefore, you might not have friends like how you used to have, you know, once you come into the truth. Because that happens, you know, people switch up their friend group or who they hang out with. Because really, ideally, you should be on people that are on the same wavelength as you. That's who you should be around.
That keeps you in the spirit too.
Yeah. But if you're just hanging around your old friends and they on what you're no longer on, you know, that can drag you down in this phase. If you don't have a strong mind, it'll affect you. You know? But, you know, once you get grounded and rooted in this truth, you can find yourself hanging out with anybody. You know, even Yahweh Shah used to hang out with the goons.
Because I know what I'm gonna do, and I know what I'm not gonna do.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Because even Yahweh Shai, he hung out with the people that was in the slums. The alcoholics, the women.
Prostitutes.
Yeah, the women, right? And that's why he said even a woman that deals with whoredom, she'll make it to the kingdom before you do. You know what I'm saying? Because you got dudes out there that say they're this, they say they're that, but they're not really who they say that they are. They don't live that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? The hypocrites. That's really the worst thing you could be is a hypocrite.
talk the talk, but you don't walk the walk.
Right.
I got a precept. I'll start the third verse. This is 1 Peter 4:2. It says, I gotta start at the top. This is 1 Peter 4:1. It says, for as much then as Yahushua has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, reveling, banqueting, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. And that's the point, you know, when you turn, you come back into the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and you're not into the things that you're into no more, the people that you used to run with, they'll look at you a certain type of way now. Whether it be good or bad, they'll just look at you as different. You're not on what you was on back then. And that's just part of the course when you come into the faith.
You know, or they'll crack jokes about you. Like, oh yeah, that's him. He's an Israelite. Them Israelites.
Out there dressed as a Power Ranger. All kind of mockery.
They'll crack most of the jokes. You know, meanwhile, it's not the same.
Yeah.
They'll be like, he doesn't eat bacon or something.
That's always the first thing they go to when you say you don't eat pork. You Muslim? That was the point on that.
Oh, he don't celebrate.
Oh yeah, that too.
He don't celebrate his birthday, or he doesn't celebrate any other pagan holiday for that fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? You might get with a chick, and Christmas comes by, or it could be her birthday. Or even, what was the last one that went by? Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Or even Valentine's Day can pop off. She's gonna expect you to do something for her, and if you don't, you might have an issue in your relationship.
Right. That lets you know that the mindset that the people are in, like, that's a fucked up mindset to have. Because I don't want to do something for you when somebody tells me I should do something for you. Not because you deserve it, but because somebody told me I should do it. That don't make sense.
Mm-hmm. With all these holidays, it's just a way for people to make money, really.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's all marketing.
So you're gonna let people get rich off you because they told you to do something when you don't have to.
No coincidence. You walk into a store, like say if it is Valentine's Day, as soon as you walk into the store, you see a bunch of flowers, candies, teddy bears.
And I know
It's
people
all marketing.
I know people that had to show out for Valentine's Day. They felt like they had to do something big for their girl.
That's crazy.
They gotta go book an Airbnb, and they put the flowers over the bed with a heart shape.
Yeah. Candles lit all up in the spot.
You get the card, got the card written up, and there might be some money in the card. You got dudes out there that'll simp like that. Or at least that'll be the vibration that's pushed.
Yeah, that's the
And
thing.
then another girl will see that and the nigga go, yo, this is what I want. It's this or nothing. And then that'll be the standard for dating. Next thing you know, for certain chicks.
That's crazy. And it's not like there's nothing wrong with doing it, but you doing it on this specific day, following this pagan custom. Like, that's where it's going off.
And that's basically you also worshiping a woman at that point.
Right.
Because then you're going against your morals. You're going against what's the other word?
Principles.
Yeah, your principles.
And that whole system is just, that's why we just got to get the hell out of here. That don't make no sense. And really, if women are being honest, they don't give a damn about no Valentine's Day. They could care less. It's all about what you done for me lately. After 2 weeks, that shit you did on the 14th don't mean nothing. The flowers is dead now.
Yeah, that's how it should always be. It should always be about what have you done for me lately.
Yeah, at least earn it. You just gonna get it just because somebody told me I gotta give it to you. That don't work in no setup, in no system, nowhere. Just doing something out of the kindness of your heart instead of doing it because they earned it. If you didn't earn it, you don't appreciate it. That goes with anything. Somebody gives you a check for $1 million, you liable to fuck that up. But if you had to really grind up that million, you're gonna spend it differently. That's just human nature.
And another thing too is, women, yeah, it's about what you do, what have you done for them lately. But it don't mean like, yo, I gotta everything I do with this girl, it's gotta be big. What should matter what you've done lately is how you treat them, you know what I'm saying? you treat them with respect? Do you have love for them?
Being thoughtful isn't enough no more.
You know what I'm saying? And even if you do decide to give them a gift, you know, the gift shouldn't even matter. It should be the thought that counts. It's the little things that you should count.
That's how it is with men. We don't need no extravagant things. You know, just move accordingly.
Because you're either useful or you're useless.
Right. Man, woman, that goes for anybody.
Exactly. So, you know, every relationship is supposed to
Transactional.
Be transactional, but
There's nothing wrong with that
not
though.
to the max.
There's nothing wrong with that though. Like me, I don't look at it like that. There's nothing wrong with it being transactional as long as we both get it what we want out the situation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you have some women that they go overboard with it. They'll be like, yeah, we gotta go take a trip. You might not even have the money to leave the country.
You just
go
don't
to
feel like it.
another state, or you don't feel like it.
Right.
You might just have to put that on credit because you don't really got it like that. But because you feel like you have to impress this woman, you know, you're gonna do that.
That's when you just gotta lay down the law. That was in Ecclesiasticus, or?
Yes, that's good. But that's what dudes go through when they're in a relationship nowadays. You know? Because whatever chick you're dealing with, she's gonna garner your attention. She's gonna take up your time and attention just to some capacity.
Right.
You're gonna have to spend money on her. You have to go out on dates. That's another thing too. You got dudes that just they don't take their woman out on dates. You're supposed to do that every now and then.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Yeah, you have to. And it's fun that way anyway.
It don't gotta be no $300, you know, extravaganza.
Like that should be what a normal relationship is. That love, respect, and there's a little bit of romance. We'll go out on dates every now and then, spend some quality time. And you don't even have to go out. You can do something at home. You know?
But the internet though, that shit just threw a monkey wrench in the game, you know? If it's not if she can't post it, it's not extravagant enough to make it to the Instagram, it wasn't worth it. You ain't do shit.
Took that girl to the tropics, and then she ends up taking mad pictures with her bikini on, and she posts it on Instagram
Fishing.
or Facebook.
Fishing.
You know what I'm saying? Making yourself feel embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? That's where that respect comes into a relationship. If you can get that respect, then you can go from there. You know what I'm saying? And respect goes a long way in a relationship. That's the foundation, if you ask me. What do you think?
Yeah, facts.
Respect.
You be seeing on this shit on the internet with the girls calling a man bro, all in a man's face, going back and forth. Just because she don't respect you. That's what it comes down to.
You can even ask somebody would they rather be feared or would they rather be respected. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Damn,
it just happens.
she took a spill.
I heard it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens.
Carrying all that shit.
That happens. They're about to help her.
I'm gonna start at the first verse.
She looked mad embarrassed.
I mean, yeah. There's Ecclesiasticus.
Remember that happened?
What?
I was trying to say.
This is Ecclesiasticus 26:1. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife,
Oh, that's a good precept.
for the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. And that's really what it comes down to, is that peace. You don't have peace here with your woman. I don't care if you're an Israelite man, you could be the top of the top, you could be an elder or whoever. You have problems in the flesh with your woman, but that's because she's in the flesh. So you can't expect her to be perfect.
A woman is supposed to be your peace. She's supposed to be your pillow.
Right.
She's supposed to be your rock.
It says, so the virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. you see, the Lord, he doesn't judge a man whether he has money or not, but the woman, they do. You know, they really like base everything on how much money you have. It don't matter what kind of person you are. You could be a demon walking the planet Earth, but if you got that bag, they'll deal. And that's unjust.
That's why oftentimes they'll see women with the thug or the goon, because the goon, he don't have principles and morals, so he may be out in the streets doing whatever he's got to do to get money fast and quick. And then the woman will find that attractive, but then they don't want the dude that's, going the legal route. You don't have to worry about him getting locked up. You know what I'm saying?
Them dudes in the street though, they be real effeminate and sensitive. They're emotional. They don't really show the characteristics of a man. They just in a man's body.
Yeah, and what you just said, just to build on that, sometimes you do see the guy with the career, but he's corny.
Yeah.
He acts feminine. He's not really a real man. And women, they're intrinsically, they're not attracted to that. They want a dude that's masculine.
Rough around the edges.
Yeah. Or the woman might be attracted to that because she herself is masculine and she wants to control the man. You see how many different scenarios there is with that?
That's why we need to get out of here. Right?
Like, you'll never really have a relationship the way that you wanted to be with a woman in the Babylon nowadays. You gotta wait until the kingdom.
So Ecclesiastes 26 and 3. It says a good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. There be 3 things that mine heart feareth, and for the 4th I was sore afraid: the slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. An evil wife is a yoke.
Yeah. She likes to gossip. She might be in public. She might be one of those chicks. She likes to talk to random people in public. You know what I'm saying? Small talk conversations and shit. You might not be with that. You might just be in stoic mode. You just want to bop and, do what you got to do, and then she want to have a conversation. You ever run into chicks like that?
Yeah.
You in the store with them, they'll start talking about, hey, start laughing.
At the register or something, you're just trying to get in and get out.
Dudes don't really like that.
Yeah.
They may even start talking to other dudes too. That's the
great.
worst.
That's great.
That's
in
the
front of
worst.
me?
Yep.
That's great. It says in 7th verse, Ecclesiastes 26:7, it says, an evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as tough he held as so let me read it again. It says, an evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. See, women ain't supposed to just be walking around by themselves or willy-nilly. Like back in the ancient world, you had a daughter and she went out, say, to the market or something. She had a chaperone. Somebody went with her. She wasn't just out in the streets by herself. That's a recipe for disaster. They say the idle mind is a woman's, the idle mind is the devil's playground. And a woman just walking around, not having a care in the world, that's not a good look.
Yeah, like in the city environment.
Hell yeah. No woman should be out with her and a group of her female friends at 3 o'clock in the morning. Only wickedness is taking place at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
It says the whoredom of...
That's why you want a girl that drives. Yeah, you want a chick that drives.
Ideally.
You get with a chick that don't got a car, and you in a relationship with her, every now and then you got to throw her some money for her Uber or for the train. You're going to feel like you have to.
Or should be bumming rides. Come with that. So 9th verse, so the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. See them lashes.
Yeah, and that's another thing. She might want you to pay for her lashes.
That's out the
Throw her some money for her nails.
not paying for no woman's upkeep. That's crazy.
I mean, you could do that if you want to every now
If
and
you
then.
want to, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying I would never do no shit like that.
Every now and then.
I gotta pay you to look good. That's crazy.
Like if you got a chick that likes to get her nails done, I would advise that. You throw her some money here and there for that.
She got it. It says,
You gotta be nice.
if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through over much liberty. And that's the problem you have here in Babylon the Great. You can liberty free to do whatever you want. You have liberty to be whoever you want to be and do whatever you want to do and say whatever you want to say.
Go around from man to man. And that's why a lot of dudes, they feel like it's a competition. They gotta constantly always feel like they have to impress their woman. You know what I'm saying? They gotta do this for her. They gotta do that, or else she's gonna leave me. Because then the woman's gonna question like, what is the point of me being with this guy? Because they don't value the relationship off like love and loyalty. They value it off what you do for them, what you can do for them. Why do you think they worry about what your career is, how much money you make? You know what I'm saying? Most women are like that. You try to find a chick that just is out there searching for love and that just wants to be with you for you, you're gonna have a hard time doing it. You're gonna have a hard time finding that.
Dude, you found a great thing.
Get Proverbs 3 and 15, please. And then a chick that is happy with you doing bare minimum, most likely she's from the hood. And then you gotta wonder, do I want to deal with a chick that's from the hood like that? You know what I'm saying? She's ghetto. She doesn't have a car. You know what I'm saying?
Got neck tattoos.
That's why you gotta pick your battles. You might have a chick that can do like for herself, and so much so to the point where she feel like she don't really need a dude. You know, that's the worst.
Yeah, you can't know that.
I can do bad all by myself, you know. Or you can find a chick that's humble, like what we're about to read.
This is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 15. It says, she is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her.
Yeah, so a woman that's got a good head on her shoulders is comparable to rubies, but even more precious. And we already know how rubies are expensive. It's one of the Lord's precious stones.
Let's get it in the NLT.
Read the 14th verse.
This is Proverbs in the King James.
Yeah, sure.
This is Proverbs 3 and 14 in the King James Version. It says, for the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all these things that canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Let's get in the NLT. Again, it's Proverbs 3:14 in the NLT. It says, for wisdom is more profitable than silver, and her wages are better than gold. Wisdom is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her.
Because rubies are really rare. They're hard to come across. That's why most of the time, if you're in the diamond or jewelry world, you're running to lab-grown stones. Like they say that most of the diamonds you see in the market nowadays, they were grown in the lab. They didn't go out there and mine them, and that messes with the credibility with the jewelry market, because you don't know what you're buying.
I mean, it's all a racket anyway. Like the diamond industry, like they make it seem like there's such a small finite amount of diamonds. They got whole buildings full of diamonds, but they only let them go. They ration them out. They don't let them all go at once, so they keep to stabilize the market. So the price that a lab diamond costs is really what the value of a diamond should really be. But they just, they influx the market by only sending them out in batches like that. It's all a scam.
And the only way that you know if you have lab-grown diamonds is if you run them through a specific test.
Yeah, it look like an X-ray machine.
I believe they use like a laser.
Yeah, it'll show like the diamonds will light up if they're like lab, I believe.
Some sort of light that they shine on.
Proverbs 3:16 NLT says she offers you long life in her right hand and riches and honor in her left. She will guide you down delightful paths. All her ways are satisfying.
She will guide you down a rightful path. She's gonna be your peace. She might even have some good input to give to you every now and then. She'll be like, you know what, baby, you should do this. You might not even have seen it. You know what? That's a good idea.
That's it on that. You got a piece of? Yeah.
Temperature's dropping. Verse.
Let's start the 10th verse. This is Proverbs 31:10. It says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet nigh, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maiden. You see, a woman, she's really, how can I put it? I'm gonna just say, a woman, she's a servant, you know? She's supposed to go,
That's exactly what she is.
goes forward.
What does it help me?
Exactly.
Google the definition of a help. It says that in Genesis, a woman is a helpmeet.
Says the word help me comes from Genesis chapter 2 verse 18. It says in the King James version of the Bible, which says it is not good that man should be alone. Yeah, get straight to it. Help me means a helper suited to, worthy of, or corresponding to him. Yeah. So a help me, a servant. She's supposed to go out and do work. A woman today, it's like they just want to be kept. They just want you to pay the bills and do everything while they do nothing. How does that work in this society? Where the way everything is, how everything is so high. You need two people working together to get through.
Two is better than one.
Right. But they want you to do everything while they just chill. And that doesn't work. That's not even healthy.
That's why
You gotta give your woman something to do, because then if she's just idle, not having nothing to do, she's just gonna get into shit.
That's why it really shouldn't matter how much money you make. Like once a girl starts talking about how much money you make,
Right.
that's like the first thing that she asks you when you meet her. Then that lets you know that everything with that girl is gonna be transactional.
Right.
That means she could be bought. She's materialistic, and you don't really want a girl like that. It's a wife.
Especially when you're just meeting somebody, that's a wild question. It's like they got no shame though. They'll dead ass ask you that question.
Like, so what do you do? How much you make?
So, where was that? 12th verse, Proverbs 31:12. It says, she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet nigh, and giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hand she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength and strengtheneth her arms.
Imagine that. You got a chick. You don't even gotta really do that for her. You know how nowadays you deal with a chick, you gotta pump her up mentally.
They're big children.
They're like children.
They're big children.
They're unstable mentally, so that's why you gotta, bring them back up, bring them back to life. That's why I said it's not such a bad idea to pay for their nails every now and then, unless you're into. Because then that'll make her feel good.
Yeah, 'cause these women
And
like
it won't be a chance that you'll have an argument later on, next week or down the line. Because then it's all about what have you done for me lately. You know what I'm saying? So if a chick can think back to the last thing that you may have done for her, and it was good for her, and it's beneficial, she'll be like, oh, we reciprocate that. Because a relationship is supposed to be about reciprocation. You know what I'm saying? You don't want everything to be one-sided, because then it's not really a relationship. You're just being used, like to the max. So everything's supposed to be reciprocated. That love, that energy, that's really harmony.
Proverbs 31 and 18 says, she perceiveth that her merchandise is good, and her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor, and reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow her household, for all her households are clothed with scarlet. That's the point.
So imagine that you got a chick, you don't even gotta worry about her leaving you, have her locked in. You don't have to even do that much for her. I mean, that's gonna be the kingdom.
That's why we need the kingdom,
Like,
bro.
really, when we're in the kingdom, whatever wife that we have or whatever woman that we're dealing with, she's gonna be 100% for us, and she's not gonna have no choice but to be for us and stay with us.
We're not gonna be getting divorced in the kingdom, fighting for custody of our children, paying fucking child support. That's gonna be all.
She's gonna have the dinner ready at the evening.
House clean, kids, children taken care of.
She's gonna know your favorite meal, what you like to eat. She might ask you, what you feel like eating today, babe? You might tell her she's gonna have that. She's gonna have that ready. Or you might be like, you know what? It's a freestyle. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can do what you want. I'm with that. Whatever.
Her and your other wife in there getting it together. One's on the stove, other one's cutting up the
and
vegetables.
that'll be fun to use. It'll be a surprise. What's for dinner?
Right. But you see, when you talk like that, people think it's just like a fleshly thing. Like, oh, y'all just want a bunch of women so y'all can freak off. This is just the natural order of things. We're putting everything back in order.
Like, just picture that. That's gonna be like us living in royalty.
We are gonna be royalty.
It's gonna go back to how it used to be in the old days, or at least how it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what really also adds stress to a relationship? The economics.
That's a major point.
Because you know how most black men, they're deprived economically.
They say that's the number one cause of divorce is finance.
Yeah. So picture us being crazy rich in the kingdom of heaven. We have wealth, we have land, and you think a woman is gonna, be able to really have an issue with you in a relationship? No, you're rich, so your life is gonna be already made. It's gonna be set. You're not gonna have to worry. Before you even think about having something, you might just already have it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have everything you want when you're in the kingdom of heaven. You're gonna have your nice house. You're gonna have your money, your wealth, all that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas opposed to other subjects who now, a dude might not have it like that. He might be facing getting evicted. He might have just lost his job, so he's going through some money issues right now. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna add stress to your relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Don't let her have to take care of you for a little minute while you get back on your feet.
Yeah.
They're gonna be disrespected.
And then the scripture said how women that take care and upkeep their man financially, they tend not to have respect for that man.
Yeah. That's in the scripture.
So imagine us being well off and rich in the kingdom. Our lives are gonna be much more comfortable, and we're gonna be able to balance our lives much better. So everything's gonna be practical.
Right, practical. But you let these people tell it, this is the way it is now is practical. They don't see nothing wrong with the way it is now. This is Proverbs 14 and...
Yeah. Like, working a job, paying bills after bills after bills. They think that this is the way life is supposed to be, but no. You should really be thinking beyond this and past this. Don't worry about trying to get everything the way that you want it to be, or get all the money in the world right now, and this world that we're living in currently. You know, just worry about what you're gonna have in the kingdom of heaven, because that substance is gonna be something no one can ever take from you. You're gonna have that forever. So therefore, we gotta be more humble, you know, men and women. You know, everything should be like more genuine.
This is Proverbs chapter 14,
We about to close. Take us out, right?
This is Proverbs, This is Proverbs 14 and 26 in the NLT. It says, "Those who fear the Lord are secure. He will be a refuge for their children."
Yeah, he will be a refuge for their children. Because remember how we started the video about Jacob's trouble? You know, if you got that fear and that faith in the Most High, you're gonna come out on top. Because there's 3 scenarios that you're gonna end up going through. There's no way around it. When you think about it.
It says, "A growing population is a king's glory. A prince without subjects has nothing."
Prince without subjects has nothing. So we're supposed to be the supreme authority over the earth, right? We're supposed to be the gods, the kings, the princes, the rulers. We're gonna have subjects as well. And that's gonna be the other nations. That's gonna be the heathens.
Right. It says, "A growing population is a king's glory. A prince without subjects has nothing."
Yeah, and then it's either that you work for us for free, or you could just stay in this capitalist system. Because either way, you're gonna be somebody's slave.
Yeah.
Right now, everybody's a slave to the dollar. We're slaves economically. We're slaves to the system to some people. You have to have a bank account. You was born with a social security number. You know what I'm saying? So that shows you what? That you don't have authority over your life the way that you think you do, or the way that you would like to. So it's either you're with us, you're for us, and our cause, or you can stay in this capitalist system. You tell me what's a better way to live.
Exactly.
You want all your money to go towards bills as you work 40 or 50 hours a week,
They taking taxes out of the money that you worked for.
and then you don't have time for your family or for yourself, or you could get under us and work for us, and then we'll give you a place to live for free. You just gotta work for us. I mean, what do you think?
It's not like we're gonna be ruling you unjustly. Maybe in the beginning, but after you serve your 1,000 years, they'll send you off, and you'll have some sustenance.
Yeah, that's
Except Esau. Esau is a so-called white man. You through. You finished.
Yeah, that's how a king's supposed to live. That they have subjects, right? That's how they was always living.
Right.
But a king is supposed to rule righteously. The scriptures speak about that. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna rule righteously.
Because we're gonna be governed by the scriptures. We're not just gonna be putting things on people that we just because we want to, just for the sake of it.
We're not gonna be promoting the alphabet lifestyle on children.
We're not gonna be buck breaking our servants.
We're not gonna be promoting adultery. We're gonna put an end to that. We're gonna make it to where honor is restored back into the earth. Honor and respect. And that's all we really want.
Dignity, peace.
Peace. Can't forget that. Because the scriptures speak about how there's not gonna be any more world wars or scrimmages. So you tell me what's a better way to live. The heathens should be rooting for us to get back into our rightful power.
Right.
That's what they should be doing.
We all win when we're in power. Except Esau.
But Esau, he knows he don't want to go down, because then he's going to be the nation that's getting it the worst.
Right.
He's going to be the one that's in captivity for 1,000 years, and then he's going to be wiped off the face of the earth. And he's going to get it the worst every day, from day to day.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're the ones that's under his system now. We're the ones who got to pay taxes. We're the ones who had to go through hardcore slavery for 400 years. We're the ones who get deprived economically. We're the ones who have ourselves and even our children be subject to negative influences on this earth because of him.
Right.
Everything that's wrong with this earth is because of Esau. Simply that.
Right. So Proverbs 14 and 29, the NLT. It says, "People with understanding control their anger. A hot temper shows great foolishness. A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. Jealousy is like cancer in the bones. Those who oppress the..."
Oh, there ain't gonna be no more jealousy either in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Because this brother's not gonna have to worry about what the other brother has because this brother might not have it. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, we're all gonna be rich.
We're all gonna have sustenance. We're all gonna not want for anything.
And that's what we gotta deal with now because we'll have certain Jakes that luck out, they get some money, but they can't really come back to the hood and have an effect, a profound effect.
It says those who oppress the poor insult their maker, but helping the poor honors him. It says the wicked are crushed by disaster, but the godly have a refuge when they die. Wisdom is enshrined in an understanding heart. Wisdom is not found among fools. Godliness makes a nation great, but sin is a disgrace to any people. A king rejoices in wise servants, but is angry with those who disgrace him.
Yeah, angry with those who disgrace him.
That's it on that.
If you let the president tell it, he feels like he's being disgraced. You saw that meeting with Zelensky and how that went down. Even in America, you got the two-party system. So the president is always going to have people that are either for him or against him. You know what I'm saying? So this whole system that we're under, capitalism, democracy, it's unsustainable. It doesn't work. And that's why we need the kingdom.
We would have righteous rulership ruling over the planet Earth.
Yeah, because you'll never always, you'll never have people that are not going to be on the bottom of the capitalist society. You're always going to have people that are either at the top, the bottom, or in the middle.
That's the only way it works.
And that's the only way it works, and that's not balanced. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to shoot to the top.
You got multi-billionaires and people that's completely homeless in the same state. Like, that's crazy.
But you know what? Now that I come to think of it, they say they are trying to collapse the middle class. So that means that there's only going to be the bottom or the top.
They did that with the C-19.
Yeah. So
that's it. That's all I had on that.
That's where we're headed with this world.
Yo.
Everybody's gonna be at the bottom, while you only have the rich elite at the top that own everything that rule. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna keep everything for themselves. At least for us, we'll be righteous.
Right.
It's gonna spread the wealth. So with that, shalom.
Shalom.